How much has Bathgate changed since you've been here?
Oh. Right, Bathgate used to have three steel foundries. They've gone. Bathgate used to have a sawmill. It's gone. Bathgate used to have a hosiery factory which employed 200 women making woolen clothes. That's gone. Bathgate used to be the hub of transport in West Lothian. Bathgate had an SMT, Scottish Motor Traction depot, and that depot employed about 400 people. And if you lived in Bathgate, you could travel to any place between Edinburgh and Glasgow or any place in West Lothian, because there were buses running every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to different places. What else has changed? In my day, my house was Boney's Cafe in Whitburn Road. It's now, I think it's 3 fast food places where Boney's Cafe used to be. St David's Church has changed. It's a nightclub. A Scottish Presbyterian church, and it didn't have a big enough congregation to support it, and it became a nightclub. And now the nightclub's shut because the barman was selling booze to underage drinkers. These are all changes. Bathgate Precinct used to have cars going up and down it. It's now a pedestrian area. Oh dear. I'd better stop there, I think.
And can you tell us about the restoration projects that you have done?
Well, the Robert Burns Highland Mary statue was the first thing. It used to stand in Kirton Park, just along there, and it was presented to Bathgate 1950s, and in the mid-70s somebody decided it would look better headless. So the heads were removed, and then arms and legs were broken. And then it was shifted into a shed. And then about, I think it would be 8 years ago, 5 of us got together and we approached our local councillors, and we got a few pounds from them for stamp money, postage and things. And we sent out emails, thousands of emails, hundreds of letters, all begging for money to restore the statue. And we got hardly anything, and we were ready to pack in when the West Lothian Public Art Department stepped in. They put the best part of £50,000 forward to us from a group called Maple Oak PLC, and that was the company which built Morrison's shop. It's a common practice that when a big company builds something like a housing estate or something like Morrison's store and does a bit of ground restoration, because that store is built where one of the big foundries used to stand in Bathgate. The ground was contaminated, it had to be cleaned up. But some of the money was a donation for a school or artwork or something, and we got the best part of £50,000, and that's how the statue was repaired. Then we had money left over, and that's how the gates were repaired. And then we discovered that the white heron, that cast iron bird in the middle of the fountain, had been stolen. You might not believe it, but somebody stole that in the middle of the town. Anyway, we discovered that there was a company in Leith who had the original castings for that, and we gave some money to them. And then we still had £1,000 left over, and we gave half of it to the Benny Museum, and we gave the other half to a group who were adding names to the war memorial, names which had not been included for one reason or another after the 1914-18 war. And that's how, or that's the work that we've done.
And do you know of any other restoration projects that have recently happened in Bathgate?
Well, the old academy, we hoped, not just the five of us who made up the BXCS group, but a lot of the former pupils of the old academy had hoped that it could be restored, maintained and used for meeting halls, or used as a town library or a county library. It could have been used for all sorts of things, but it took several millions of, or it would have taken several millions of pounds to repair it, and the council didn't have enough money. So it was sold, and it is now a block of apartments. And there is one stipulation made about that property, and that is that on the first Saturday in June every year, the car park at the front of it and the steps at the front of it will be made available for Bathgate procession to hold a historical pageant. And that historical pageant concerns Robert the Bruce giving the keys of Bathgate Castle to Walter the High Steward of Scotland as part of Marjorie Bruce's dowry when they were married. And that way back in the beginning of the 14th century, not long after the Battle of Bannockburn.
Thank you.